Welcome to North Country Commerce, a business and community service of the Plattsburgh-North Country Chamber of Commerce.
Today's North Country Commerce is made possible by a grant from the following: Partners Health Plans of Plattsburgh.
Welcome to North Country Commerce, a business and community service of the Plattsburgh-North Country Chamber of Commerce. I'm Gary Douglas, president of the Chamber, and today we have as our special guest, always this time of year, coming up to summer and the height of tourism season here in the North Country Lake Champlain region, the director of the Champlain Shores in the Adirondacks Visitors and Convention Bureau, a division of the Chamber. Got all that in with one breath. Carolyn Harding. Welcome, Carolyn.
I very rarely get it in one breath, yes. Have a long time.
She gets three times as much in one breath. I've seen her at travel shows. I've seen her. We also have with us another very special guest we're happy to introduce on this show. This is little Sammy Champlain. And Sammy Champlain is, I'll have Carolyn, he's a little shy. I'll have Carolyn hold on to him for you. Now, Sammy is a special project of the Chamber, isn't he?
He's a wonderful project of the Chamber. He's a symbol of our association, our wonderful association with Quebec, because he's a black bear, as you can see, and of course black bears live here in the Adirondacks. He came down with Samuel de Champlain in 1609 and stayed here as the ambassador from Quebec in the Adirondacks. So his name is Sammy, and he is a collectible bear. And he's one of my favorites. I take him with me because, you know, people love pets. You know, they'll talk to me when I have him. But he's available here at the Chamber. Isn't that correct, sir?
Yes, he is. He's a totally handmade product of Adirondack craftspeople. There will never be more than 500 Sammys made. So he's a limited edition, very high quality product, and obviously a very cute bear and a very special character bear. He's all signed and numbered, each one, and they are available here at the Chamber for $89, proceeds to help the Chamber in its tourism and other efforts, and also to get just a nice symbol out there, something that reflects the heritage of our area and our Canadian connection and Lake Champlain and Adirondacks and everything kind of all tied into one.
He'd make a wonderful gift for someone from the area. If you have friends or relatives that have left the area, he'd make a marvelous present.
He's become the top presentation item that people now look forward to when they come to Chamber events. We have special guests come in like the ambassador and consuls general from Canada and senators and governors and so on come into the area, and we have them here. We always present them with one of these Sammys, and they're already starting to be on display all over the place in lobbies and offices because it's a really unique presentation item, which is something to consider too for businesses or organizations out there that may want something very special to give to somebody as a gift that reflects the area, particularly a visitor to the area, that rather than the kind of the plaque or the things that they kind of get from everybody and they all kind of blur. This is something you can send somebody away with that it's a permanent statement about the area and something they'll probably display because it's different.
You know something else? It's something that they could bring home to the family, that the family would love too. Plaque is a plaque.
Makes a great 4th of July present. Not close enough to Christmas to say make a Christmas present. Make a great 4th of July present. No, but a great Mother's Day present, Father's Day present, Christmas present, Victoria Day, whatever.
There you are. Now, I took him to Montreal with me during the shows that I do, the travel shows in Montreal, and I was just telling my boss here that at those shows, the Parks Canada has Samuel de Champlain in full costume because their guides and all of their forts, you know, that they have tours of are completely dressed in authentic costume. So I have a picture now with the real Samuel de Champlain and Sammy that will be on display in my office.
Particularly timely too, because we're engaged with a number of other organizations in New York and Vermont and Quebec in some meetings that have taken place recently and are going to be continuing to start planning for the anniversary of Champlain's arrival in North America, which is coming up in 2009, not that far away, particularly if we want to plan the kind of celebrations that we want to have. And Sammy will be there. Sammy will be there and be part of it.
As a matter of fact, I'm sending Sammy up to Montreal this week, sir. He's going to be part of a fundraiser in Quebec. But yeah, we're working with byways, the byways program, scenic byways, bikeways of Lake Champlain, the Basin program, people in Quebec. We're doing some cooperative efforts between now and beginning in the year 2003. We'll have 6 years of festivals going on throughout the whole region, in Quebec, in Vermont, and in New York State. Excuse me.
So Sammy's going to be a very busy bear. But we're also busy with other stuff here, too. We'll let Sammy go back to his sled. He likes his sled. Even in the summer, he loves that sled. There's a lot going on. And there's rumors that tourists are probably coming here this summer. Is this true?
Trouble if they're not coming. Yes, we had actually all of us know about the tragedy in 1998 with our ice storm, and that brought so many people here to fix and repair and insure, etc. But you know that the wonderful thing is we found that the pattern continued right through the summer. We had wonderful summer figures from our hotels and through the fall. And the wonderful thing, again, is that in January, February, March of 1999, it looks like the trend is continuing, which means we have more tourists in our area. And we feel that there are a number of factors involved, one of which, of course, we hope is because we have emphasized bringing tourists not only from Quebec, which of course is our neighbor, but also from the rest of the states. Mm-hmm. Because there's so many people in this country who have never realized that Lake Champlain does not belong to Vermont, that half of it belongs to us, and that we have phenomenal history on this side of the lake. We have wonderful views. We have less populated shorelines. We have so much to offer. So we hope that all of those efforts are beginning to bear some fruit.
In fact, they are. We had an interesting presentation here at the Chamber yesterday by Kevin Neal, who's the general manager of Champlain Centers, the major shopping mall in Plattsburgh, giving us a good picture of what's going on. And I think, at least in the retail sector, it helps to paint the picture of something that's happening more broadly in this community, which is, first of all, that business is good. But secondly, it's good in part because there are people coming, and they're coming from different places and in different patterns than they used to several years ago. It may surprise some people out there to hear, but it's the truth. Business at Champlain Centers, year to date, 1999, is up 11% over a year ago. Last year's car count numbers, because as Carolyn knows, having worked there, they analyze the license plates and they count cars and where the plates are from. In 1998, for the year, the license plate counts at Champlain Centers were right on the money with the high point of shopping at Champlain Centers back in 1994 in terms of car counts. So what happened? Are the Canadians back in the same numbers they were in 1994? No, although they're back a little more than they were, but no, they aren't back. What's happened is there are more local shopping, but there are a lot more Vermonters. There was a steep increase in the number of Vermont plates appearing in the parking lots over here. So a lot is happening. We are getting more visitors for shopping, for travel, for tourism, for camping, for fishing, for all kinds of things.
Yes, we are.
And you'll take credit for that.
Yes, sir. There's something else, too, by the way, when you brought up Champlain Centers, that, of course, it's close to my heart, and that is that the national travel and tourism businesses have an article now that I just copied the other day, which says, finally, it is recognized that shopping is part of tourism. It's a big part of tourism. We've always known that with our Champlain Centers, that they drew people from out of the area to come to the area. So they are now big partners with us, not only with attractions, hotels, and restaurants, but shopping is a big part of why folks will stop here.
Now let's touch on some things that are going on here at the Chamber now and in the upcoming months to put an extra spin on tourism promotion and business promotion here in the area. And part of that story is where we're standing, isn't it?
Oh, yes. This is very exciting, by the way. I hope you're going to take a shot of our new lobby with our wonderful decor that Mr. Douglas gets up on the ladder and puts up and changes by seasons. But this is our brand new visitor center, which just opened in October, and we are very proud of it because we have now the opportunity to bring in more folks into the area, and they'll be able to fit into the room and find the brochures they want to see. They'll be able to get the information very quickly. about our area. We also have, of course, all of our members are able to display their brochures, which of course is for local people and for businesses moving into the area. They want to see what services we have to offer. So this visitor center we're extremely proud of. We are on the crossroads. I hope everybody knows this, where we are. We're at exit 39 or 39E if you're coming south. And we are right at the junction of the road that leads to the ferry to Vermont and, of course, on to Boston and the Northeast. So we're in an absolutely perfect location for folks to stop and get tourist information as well as business information.
And it's now signed off the Northway. If you come up or down the Northway now around 39, you'll see the information center signs, the big question marks with the directional signs here, which means we expect a lot of traffic here this summer, because part of the intent here is we know there's over 3 million cars going up and down the Northway every year. Obviously, not all of them are stopping here, but if we get more of them to stop and find out where to eat or where to do something, or maybe on a return trip see something they want to come back for, by getting them into a visitor center like this, we can get more bang out of the traffic that's already going through here but not stopping. So that's part of what we're after. And it makes being part of this center for any tourism-related business out there, restaurants, motels, campgrounds, golf courses, whatever, all the more important, because if you aren't here, they aren't going to find out about you. So you're definitely going to want to make sure that you talk to us, that you get your materials and your information in our hands for this visitor center as soon as possible. And outside, which we're not going to show you, but if you visit the building, you see there's a big portico on the front. And within the next 30 days or so, we intend to build a facility underneath that covered lighted portico, and that'll be the exterior 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week, 365-day-a-year visitor center. So those people come off the Northway on Sunday evening, they're going to be able to pick up materials too. So it's going to be incredibly important to be part of this if you're in any kind of business that relates to visitors.
We're also going to offer customer service out there in another aspect. We'll have bike racks for folks that are cycling. This is one of the major bikeways routes up and down the lake. We'll have benches, we have a telephone there, so that we become user-friendly for anyone that visits the area. And our dining guide and our accommodations guide, everything that will be of interest to them will be available, and they can immediately make reservations at the local hotel or whatever.
Now, in addition to the visitor center, something new this year and something that you're going to want to be part of, there are, of course, all of the materials, and we have some of them here. Updated every year, reflecting different kinds of themes, different kinds of businesses. We have the main travel guide, which includes all the accommodations and hotels and campgrounds in there. So if you're one of those and you're not working with us and not listed in that, you want to be in there. We just put out 75,000 copies of that publication. We have the dining guide, which lists restaurants in the area. And I want to emphasize our area is 3 counties. It's Clinton, Essex, and Franklin. We're not the Plattsburgh Chamber. We're not the Clinton County Chamber. We're the regional chamber, and it's a regional visitors and convention bureau. And southern Quebec as well. So all of you in our viewing area, what do we got here? 101 things to do. There are 101 things to do.
There's more than 101 things to do.
We have a standing challenge. Carolyn has issued a standing challenge. If anybody proves they've done all 101 things in this brochure, come back and talk to her. She'll come up with 101 more.
Oh, I thought you were going to promise me to do housework for a month or something.
Well, that'll be your choice. You can offer that as an alternative. We've got brochures for Canadian visitors, French and English. It just gives them helpful hints on conversions of different things, the exchange rate, sizes, metric, those sorts of things. Calendar of events. We put out a calendar of events. Yeah. It's on our website. northcountrychamber.com, so it's constantly updated there. We also print it a new version every few months. Yeah. So that's something to come and actually get for local folks too, if you want to find out
Absolutely.
About events, not just for tourists. But something else I want to stress here, and I'm always saying it, let us know about events. We do put out a calendar of events.
Please.
We do put it on the website. But frequently communities out there all over the region, particularly in some of the outlying areas that don't think they ought to be calling this chamber or this visitor center to list their event, they aren't doing it yet. And so we need you to tell us about those bazaars and those festivals and those things that are going on throughout the region so we can include them and let visitors know. Maybe we can help bring some more traffic to your event.
That brings up another thing. We also have a place to put posters, so folks do have events and they have nice-looking flyers. They want us to hang them up. Please let us know. We're also on the web on a constant basis changing this, and we have something new coming up, which is a connection to the I Love New York website, where we will be updating events and so forth. So it's very important to keep in touch with us.
We have special brochures for bed and breakfasts, for golf courses. We have a fishing brochure that lists all the marinas, bait and tackle shops, and so on related to fishing. A lot of specialty things like that. Again, if you're interested in those things, these are good things for local people to pick up as well, but also if you're a tourism-related business out there, you need to be in those publications, and if you aren't working with us, you aren't in there, and if you aren't in there, visitors don't know about you, but they know about your competition.
That's right. And
You don't want them to just know about your competition, do you? You want them to know about you, too.
What a challenge. We have a brand new one being produced this year, very soon as a matter of fact, which is with all of the campgrounds. We'll have 8 campgrounds in a new brochure, which we will be giving out by the thousands. So there's lots of opportunities. We call it a menu of opportunity for cooperative advertising. We help cover the cost, by the way, of a lot of these things. If you'll notice on the brochures, there's the little I Love New York logo. And what that means is that I use part of the monies from the state of New York, the matching funds it's called, to help local people produce things for their business. So it's an opportunity to double your money.
And we're
for advertising.
in, we do cooperative ads in major magazines. Name some of the ones that we did last year and we're
golly.
doing this year.
We have
It's going to surprise people, some of the national magazines.
One of the things that was asked of me 5 years ago when I first started this job, June, Gary, is my anniversary. And they said to me, Carolyn, why don't we advertise in big magazines?
That's a hint for an anniversary present.
But anyway, they would ask me, why don't we advertise? Well, we are now, because of the progress we've made over the last 5 years. We're in Better Homes and Gardens, Mature Outlook, Travel and Living. We work with
Reader's Digest.
Reader's Digest. We're in a cooperative ad with the Adirondack region, which is the 7 counties of upstate New York. And when people write in, we're in 7 different publications with the region, including the New York Times Travel, Reader's Digest, as Gary said, Yankee Magazine, some of the biggest and best magazines in the country. And when those requests come in for information about the Adirondacks, our information goes in the package. And we expect something like 20,000 requests.
Now, 2 things to keep in mind there. Number 1, once again, if you're not working with our Visitors Convention and Convention Bureau and you're a tourism-related business out there, you're missing out 2 different ways. There are ways to buy in directly on a lot of these cooperative advertising ventures and therefore get into publications and outlets as an individual business you couldn't dream of being able to afford to get into, but in partnership through us and a number of other businesses, you can get in there. Plus, when we send out those response materials to those 20,000 folks,
Yep.
what did I say happens? We send them out to publications, and if you aren't in the publications, they also aren't finding out about you. But if you're working with us and you're in our travel guide, you're in our accommodations guide, our fishing brochure, our 101, all of these different things, bed and breakfast guide, golf course guide, and so on, then that means those people are getting information about you. So another important thing to keep in mind. It isn't just, these things aren't just picked up here in the Visitor Center. That's only one aspect of it. These things are going out in the mail because this Visitors Bureau, this chamber, is the primary source that people come to from all over the world now to ask for information on this area in the Lake Champlain region. And if you aren't in our publications, they aren't finding out about you.
I mean, we're on the website, and it's amazing the number of hits, as they say, that we get on that website on a regular basis from literally all over the world, as Gary says.
Even more hits than I get at a board meeting.
Oh, boy.
Ring a boom boom. Anyhow.
Okay.
What has the VCV been up to? Let's see. We mentioned in the region is not just Clinton County, but I want to stress that again. We're doing a lot of travel shows. Mention some of the travel shows that we're doing this year and that are coming up.
Well, I've just finished doing 3 travels, actually more than that. I personally staffed the booths in Montreal for a boat show, a summer holiday show in Quebec City. We send our brochures to shows in Toronto, shows in Albany, Syracuse. We go to motor coach conventions and shows, which are extremely important because, of course, one motor coach with 50 people drops $6,000 in the community. That's something. Every time you see a motor coach in town, give them a cheer for us,
And run
will you?
around behind them because
Yeah.
Carolyn says they're dropping money.
But those folks are they're very important, and we have seen an increase in motor coach tourism traffic. And that's a plus for our hotels because they come off-season and midweek. It's something that we're working very hard to grow.
As part of the strategic endeavors that we're now involved in here, we're out there not just doing the basic kinds of promotion, although we mentioned we do all those things, but also working strategically out there to increase things like motor coach tour activity, group tour activity, small meetings and conventions coming to this
that's a good
area, and we're having some success. Now, again, if you're a tourism-related business out there, if you're a hotel or motel, or maybe a major restaurant, you can instantly think, oh, that's relevant to me, I want to find out about that, so do it if you haven't. But some of you may be thinking, well, gee, that's not relevant to me, I'm a gift shop, or a craft store, or a golf course, or some other kind of business out there. Gee, motor coaches aren't going to come to me. Wrong, because what will also help facilitate for the smaller businesses out there that you don't automatically think of as being relevant to group tours and conventions and bus tours are packages. Will help facilitate you getting in contact and working with the hotels who are hosting these things to perhaps do discount or package opportunities or so on, so that when these people are in town, they'll come to your restaurant or your golf course or your attraction.
As a matter of fact, we've just created an itinerary, sample itineraries that motor coach people want to see. They want ideas for what to do in your area. And the region has just printed a new publication, group tour itineraries. And things like a local homemade candy shop. You wouldn't think they would be involved in motor coach. They are. And here's another one for you that we've worked with, marinas. There's a marina in Westport called Westport Marina. That has a darling little galley restaurant that usually services just their boating people. Well, she came in with us in an ad in a magazine for the group tour industry. Within 2 months, she had booked a motor coach to eat lunch in her restaurant and take the little tour boat that holds about 50 people. She loves it. Now, what an idea for increasing your business.
So be innovative, talk to us. That's really the story. And don't think that, oh, these some of the things the VCB does aren't relevant to me. If you're creative, there's probably a way you can figure out to get a piece of the action. And if you talk with Carolyn, she'll help you come up with some ideas. We recently got the campgrounds together in the region, and we've got them working together. We're going to be doing, as we do with the B&Bs and fishing and some other themes, we're going to be doing a campground brochure on a cooperative basis with them. So any campgrounds out there, you need to be talking with us if you haven't in a while, because we're doing some new things with campgrounds and cooperative advertising and a shared brochure. We mentioned packaging and helping to facilitate packaging and group tours. We have folks from a new casino in the area coming over and talking to us next month.
We certainly do. They are from the Akwesasne Mohawk Casino in Hogansburg. And they're going to be coming over here to talk with us because we are only 1 hour away from this brand new casino. We have lots of facilities they're going to have to utilize. So therefore, we're going to talk about putting together some good packaging with these folks for both motor coach and the regular tourist. Not only that, but we're going to also be incorporating the campgrounds with the casino.
Absolutely.
Okay? So that we have opportunities here to do some wonderful packaging.
Maybe even marinas. There's a creative,
Yeah,
there's a creative
absolutely.
approach. How do we get
Absolutely.
people, boaters in Lake Champlain, from the marinas to the casino and to other attractions? Those are the kinds of things we want to start talking about. Make everything work together, because that's what makes the pie bigger. A new attraction next door isn't competition, it adds to the magnet. If they can bring more people in, that we can then get to do the other kinds of stuff that are here once we get them here. Bikeways. That's a growing interest here.
Oh, we started 5 years ago getting involved with the Lake Champlain Bikeways program, which is part of the Basin program. And we knew that bicycling, is a growing family sport. It is environmentally friendly. It brings people who love to spend money. So this was a new focus for us, and we've been working with them ever since, and it has grown tremendously. They send out packages of information with accommodations and campgrounds along the cycling route around the entire lake, and I can tell you that it is growing and will continue to grow. I'm working with a gentleman right now who wants to bring down 400 cyclists from Quebec.
So bike shops out there, sporting goods stores, even little inns and restaurants out along some of the roads that they're biking on need to be talking to us, because if we don't know about you, if you aren't working with us, we can't help direct these folks to you. And relevant to bikes, we have the Hogs coming to town.
Yeah.
What are the Hogs?
Hogs, yes. Harley Davidson Owners Group Society, I think, is the last for the S. Anyway, these folks, if anybody knows anything about Harley Davidson, have done a metamorphosis in the last 15 years when the family bought back Harley Davidson and turned it into the Cadillac of motorcycles. And these folks are devoted to these wonderful motorcycles, and they're going to hold their statewide convention here in Plattsburgh this summer. They expect upwards of 3,000 folks in town. And so that's just one of the many things that's going on. We have the International Volleyball Tournament being held here this summer. This is phenomenal on our city beach. From here they go to Hawaii. So we will have that going on the same weekend as the Mayor's Cup.
There's an international rowing competition going on in Lake Champlain this summer.
There are so many things. Well, we had things this past February for the first time. We had the Snowshoe Classic, which is again a qualifying meet. So we're bringing small conventions, meetings.
These are things that we work in partnership with organizations like the Adirondack Sports Commission. But it's part of our whole effort to help bring more group tours and activities into town, and we're having some real success. Something like the Hogs Convention is going to drop an awful lot of money into this community, bring visitors here that never came here before, that we believe when people come here, they generally return. If you get them here once, they see things that they like, they see an area that they love, they see things they didn't have time to do when they came here the first time, they come back. So that's an important spin-off anytime you get a group here.
Absolutely. That's what happened with our folks that came here to help us during the ice storm. We had ice storm thank you packages, and we brought back something like 300 families that loved the area and brought their own children and wives back to see the area.
Now, we're hosting another group here in June, the TPA conference. Now, what are TPAs? Are those accountants that specialize in hot beverages?
No. TPA stands
I've been waiting to use that line all morning.
TPAs are tourist promotion agents, and each county in New York State, there's 62 counties, and each one has a designated TPA. And here in Clinton County, the county legislature designated the Chamber of Commerce as the official tourist promotion agency for this county. And so each one of the counties has a comparative person to myself. And for the first time in history, since the I Love New York campaign was founded, they are having their spring get-together here in Plattsburgh. And we are going to wine them and dine them and show off the North Country.
And we're going to send them back across the state knowing the great stuff there is up here. And that all helps spread the word, things that we can work with on them. These are also our peers, and our peers are coming here to see what we're doing because they've heard we're doing good things.
Well, we hope so, because after all, when folks stop in other areas to ask for information, just like we do here, we have information about the rest of the state, Quebec, other states, etc. Why? Because we want to be user-friendly, and we want to give the service to the people that stop here. So we hope now that the rest of the state will also recommend the Adirondacks and Lake Champlain.
So, to kind of wrap things up here, local folks should be using this visitor center to get event information and things about fishing and boating and stuff to do in the area, and know that the Chamber is a resource for that. So call us at 563-1000 anytime that you want to get those things, 101 things to do on Lake Champlain, all of those kinds of sources. Check out our website routinely, northcountrychamber.com. Check out the calendar of events and things that are going on there. It's a good way to keep right up to date with things. But then again, if almost any kind of business out there that at all has visitors come in your door, if you haven't yet been working with Carolyn or been in touch with the Visitors and Convention Bureau here at the Chamber, and you're anywhere in the three-county area here in the North Country, you need to be in touch with us. You need to get plugged into this visitor center, to the brochures, to the travel shows, to the group tour and motor coach efforts, to to explore the packaging opportunities with the hotels in the area and the attractions. There's just too much going on for you to miss. And we know there are still folks out there that are missing out. They still haven't come in. They still aren't aware that there are things that they can be taking advantage of that are available to them, or maybe they're out in some of those outlying areas and they still aren't aware that we're serving the whole region and not thinking that they can work with this chamber. Maybe seeing, gee, that chamber's doing great things. Too bad I can't get in on that. Well, they can. So call us, 563-1000. Ask for Carolyn. She'll not only be happy to talk with you, but she'll be happy to listen to you and to help you come up with those ideas and get you plugged in. And I guess that's it for now, but we hope to be hearing from you all this summer. We're looking forward to a good summer. The business community is enthusiastic about this summer. We're enthusiastic about it. It's going to be a great year.
And now I'm going to get out my Indian costume and do a rain dance so that it doesn't rain.
Thank you for watching North Country Commerce.
Thank you for watching North Country Commerce. Be sure to tune in to future segments every 2 weeks.
We can't meet our deadline on this order.
I'm sorry, but we don't have your size in stock.
We called too late. They won't pick up the shipment.
Our cash flow problems are killing us.
If you've got business problems, we've got the answers. We're SCORE, the Service Corps of Retired Executives Association. 13,000 volunteer business experts who are ready to give you professional management advice at no cost.
Call the Plattsburgh-North Country Chamber of Commerce.